So on this embankment here, tracks are up there. This is the big dugout. Absolutely loaded. And then the more I thought about a dump spot for the train, water source. Wow, that is magnificent. $89.90. I mean, that's just my first assumption that it's a lock. Alright, well here we go. Picking up where I left off in a video I did last year where I did this section of rail bed laid down in the mid-1800s. I am going further beyond that point, and today, observe and report. We're going to walk it. Guess we'll go as far as we can take it, and we'll see what we find along the way. I've really only been walking about 10 minutes, and so far on both sides, low-lying wetland swamp action. And furthering what I do, I'm basically walking this to see if I come across any old walls that the rail bed may have cut through old farms. And of course, we'll keep our eyes peeled and open looking for any signs from the railroad era. I'll tell you one thing that I like about these hikes, as you know, most of the time it's up, up, up. Being that this is a rail bed, it's no more than a 3% grade. I feel like I'm running as I'm walking. How nice to be on flat ground. That's interesting, looking over this embankment, which is built up really high. There's a wall, comes down, corners off, and goes out into that stuff. Actually, there's a couple different chunks of wall. Oh, wow. Wow, that is magnificent. Ready? Look how much soil is on top of that where they built the tracks. It's got to be 15 feet easily. Straight as an arrow. So that means they had to build up. They built this first and then filled this all in. You know, they did it by hand back then. Look at that. So it's the walls that have me curious. How they literally come down, corner off the waterway over to here, and then back up. Now here's a spot like I showed last year. It's a material dig out spot, probably where they got majority of that soil and stone to make that bridge. Yeah, let's swing around in here for a few minutes. Maybe we'll hear something. Somebody hung a barrel loop in a tree. Well, I got some signals right here. Whoa. $89.90. Oh, wow. Is that a lock? You guys have got to see this. Look at that. So you obviously heard the signal. Whoa. I mean, that's just my first assumption that it's a lock. It's definitely old. If that's from the railroad era, that's even better. Wow, how cool is that? Well, that's a good way to start. Let's see what else is hiding in the ground. That sounds good. Big lead ball. I don't think it's terribly old. So I just walked up here. I wonder if this is one of those railroad dumps that I've been looking for, because I got another one of those crazy signals, but as soon as I opened up the ground, look at this, coal, and it's all black. I just stopped and looked up heart-shaped locked, it is tied to the railroad. That's fantastic. So on this embankment here, tracks are up there. This is the big dugout. Absolutely loaded. And then the more I thought about a dump spot for the train, water source. I don't know. I'm gonna dig in here and see what we can find, because I cannot isolate anything with all that noise. That's a big chunk of iron. I got a big piece of crock here. Let's see if we can get this out in one piece. That's interesting. God, doesn't look, looks more construction-like to me, but again, it's loaded with coal right here. Oh wow. Look at that, it's a shovel. Is that a shovel that helped build the railroad? That's an interesting thought. They haven't changed forever, so it's hard to say, and I'm no expert on shovels. I just use one all the time. Got a spike. Actually looks like the head's been broken off. But I'm only able to pull stuff out that's kind of away from, you know, this area, because it's just all noise. Coming back and working this is going to take some time, but at least we're getting a few things out of here. That lock was gold. Well, I'm going to say no doubt we found one of the railroad dumps. You see this slant I'm on? The old colonial wall is right there, and then this is just an embankment. Unlike the rest of the terrain, you can see that this has been all pushed over or filled with all this stuff, and it's just loaded with signals, and every time I open the ground there's coal in there. So I'm definitely going to come back here. Right now I want to get home, clean that lock, show it to you, and see what other information we can get on it. So let's do that. Well, I'm back at the shack, and we're going to put the lock into the mix and the spike for the heck of it, and get back to you in a while. We'll let that marinate. Alright, well, several hours later of letting this soak, and pretty much I just put it in there to get the dirt out. Looking pretty awesome, huh? Well, looking into it, common shape for a switch lock is a heart shape. This definitely comes from the railroad. I'm assuming this is the back. Some of these may have actually had the rail line or the railroad company on them, which would have been awesome, but just to find this is fantastic. Also, because several years ago, on a different line, several miles away from this, but originating from the same place, I dug a switch key. So to have both of these is wonderful, and they both obviously go to the museum, and that was just a great unexpected treat today. And again, as you see, by doing little bits by little bits by little bits to fill in all the spaces, it finally led me to a dump off the railroad tracks. Now it's just going to be a matter of time and going back there and picking away at it. Believe me when I say it was just very hard to distinguish any signals. It really was. That being the first target just happened to be a winner. So hope you all enjoyed that. We will get out there soon. I like to break these things up. I'll probably wait a couple months, wait a couple weeks. Maybe I'll be there tomorrow. Who the hell knows? Either way, until next time, enjoy your not Thursday.